up, y'all, and welcome back to Planners and Wine. My name is Myra.
And my name is Meg. Welcome back, guys.
Yay, welcome back to another week. I don't know why, but it feels like it's been a while. But we were here last week with the Patreon.
Girl, you know, when
This
your
week
life
has
is
been crazy.
busy and the weeks
Yeah.
are long, it feels like that. It always feels like we're having to relearn how to record a podcast every
Single week. It's wild. I don't know. It just feels like we recorded on Sunday too last week, right?
We did.
Because sometimes if we do it early, it feels longer, but I don't know. This week has just been like, it went by fast, but it was super slow at the same time, if that makes sense.
I agree. This week went by super fast and it was just like jam packed. Not only with stuff that we have going on, but just stuff going on in the world, on social media. Like it's a lot, y'all. So this week's episode is kind of jam packed with all the celeb stuff because you know, people want to scab the strike. You know, we got another Bria Jones situation. We have an update on the whole Ashton Kutcher debacle. And then we still got Planner World stuff. So yeah, this is a meaty episode. I'm kind of excited. I've been dying to talk about some of these things with you all week.
Yeah, the Muggles been muggling.
Yeah, they have. Should have went to Hogwarts. Oh, that's right. You weren't invited. Okay. You didn't get in. But yeah, y'all, we are excited to know y'all's feedback on these topics too. So make sure y'all chime in on the conversations if y'all are part of Patreon. Let us know in our Facebook group. And if you're not, you know, hit us up on Instagram, in the DMs, on our Facebook page, all those things. And just let us know what you think. But before we get into everything, Myra, how was your week?
Oh, real quick. Yeah, this was a part of my week too, but I went to the YouTube page. And for whatever reason, YouTube was holding like so many comments. So if you get a comment from me after 3 months, it's not my fault. It is YouTube. I don't know why. And there was nothing wrong with the comments or anything.
So were they like flagged for review or something like that?
Yeah.
Wow.
And there will be stuff like, you know, that we talked about on the show. Nothing crazy. No, I could see like links and stuff. No links. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna just have to make sure to stay on top of that. So sorry. It was a lot, but I did go through all of them. So FYI, I am trying to make sure we stay on top of the YouTube because I know a lot of people like to watch us there. But yeah, you're probably hearing this late too. If it's on YouTube,
they're like, y'all been ignoring me for 6 months on YouTube. Sorry, I'm done.
Sorry. So yeah, I spent some time just going through those. It was like 50 some comments. It was a lot of comments.
Good.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's good, but now people think we don't respond to them, but whatever.
We do, y'all. We do.
We do. It was just in La La Land or whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's just been a lot of trying to get my life together, trying to figure out what we're doing with like social media and school. I don't know what I did this week, to be honest. It just went by.
Girl, the week has been a blur. Yeah, I totally feel you. It's just a lot going on. Like getting used to the rhythm of having a, you know, legitimately school age child and all the things that come with that is definitely something that people don't talk about enough. So if y'all have children who are just now, you know, becoming school age and y'all are getting used to that rhythm, chime in and let us know how is that going for you, any struggles that you're having, because the struggle has definitely been real over here. Like making sure we're on a consistent schedule, getting her to bed on time, getting her up on time, getting her to eat breakfast, which is a daily struggle.
Seriously.
It's a lot.
I don't understand it.
It's a lot.
It's like they protest.
Yeah, they're like, maybe if I don't eat, they won't make me go to school.
No, you still gotta go.
You still gotta go.
Yeah, get something there because I know you're gonna be hungry. But it's also like I be feeling bad with breakfast too because I know you need it, but like I can't force you to eat it.
I know. Same. I think we just have to wrap our heads around that. They're going to be fine. Yeah. Like you said, breakfast at school is an option as well. I didn't even know the other day, like Mason kind of barely ate her breakfast and, you know, we took her to school and she told me later on in the day, like, yeah, me and my friend went and bought breakfast this morning. I said, oh, Just she said it just like casually, and I was like shook.
Not she
So
like she in high school.
girl just dropped it on me. Just dropped it on me like a bomb. Okay. I was
They're
proud.
grown.
I was like, well, that is so good to know and such a relief for my mommy heart because, like you said, I'm feeling guilty. Like, I don't want to think my baby is hungry or something. And, it's not like back in the day where they had snack breaks and stuff like that. I think they
Yeah.
just, start class and do all the things and you're not eating until we go to lunch. So,
Basically, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm at to ask if they would allow it's probably some kind of restrictions with all
About
that, like having a snack or whatever. Because
it's
like
worth asking. You never know.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
worth
I'll probably
asking,
ask. Because I do bring his water bottle,
We
which
do
is
too.
good, because
Mhm.
he struggled with drinking water, but now he, goes through it since he's in school, so that's
Yep.
good, but
Yep.
yeah, I
Same.
might ask.
Yeah. Just to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, y'all, the parenthood struggle is so real for you guys out there with multiple children.
Why?
No, girl, that's not why. How? How
Yeah.
is the question?
How/why?
How? It's hard. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a struggle with just one.
Hmm.
But maybe if they're close in age, they can kinda help each other out too. That's always nice.
You know what? This has definitely been a time where I've been wishing that Mason had like a school aged older sibling who was
Mhm.
there and could guide her and take care of her and do all the things. But life works out the way it works out. So
I know. I want
yeah.
that for Ashton too, because just
Mhm.
knowing somebody is there
Mhm.
that you are familiar with, like, makes you feel so much better.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
but
It
I'm sorry.
does. It
That didn't
does.
happen for me either, though. Did
Somebody
you
gotta
and
be
your
the
brother
oldest. I
be
had an
in
older
school?
brother.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
we
were you
were
guys
in
going to school at the same time?
elementary school at the same
Okay.
time. Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I don't know what that's like.
to be honest, I really don't remember because me and my brother are like 4 years apart. So
Yeah.
when I was in kindergarten, he was what I guess fourth grade, and then we were together for like 2 more years, and then he was off to middle school. So it didn't
Mhm.
last long, but I'm sure that was probably like a nice relief for my parents to
Yeah.
be able to have my brother there or whatever, just as that extra, just security blanket, somebody to take care of me. But like somebody got to be the oldest. So
I guess it's me.
and Ashton and Mason.
Somebody gotta do it.
Exactly, exactly. But yeah, guys, oh, we got a lot to get into. Before we get there, we're going to take a quick break to hear from our sponsors, and we will be right back. All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and get into all the things that have been going down this week. I got to start with this Drew Barrymore situation because I think this is like a world record for like a story breaking and being resolved in the shortest amount of time ever. And we have been getting updates on this story literally since last Sunday when we first recorded it, I think when it first broke, and every day since then, including today, that it
Mhm.
has finally came to some type of resolution, and it's been crazy. So in case you live under a rock, Drew Barrymore, the actress, she has a talk show, the Drew Barrymore show, I believe it's called.
Mhm.
And obviously, since this writer strike has been going on, her show has been on hiatus because she has writers on the staff of her show, and obviously, to be in solidarity with those writers, they have not been doing her show. Well, literally out of nowhere, Drew put out a statement last weekend saying that her show would resume production without her writers. And oh, y'all, it was like, let's talk about that part of it first. So it was as if Drew felt like her show was like saving the world. And like the show must go on because without the Drew Barrymore show, how can people function? Like we had y'all back during the pandy, and we got to have y'all back during this strike. And there's so much going on in the world. How are y'all going to be okay without the Drew Barrymore show? So we will be, working within the confines of the strike regulations, but we will be working. And of course, the strike people came out and was like, nah, there is no way to be working within the confines of the strike. Like, this is what they call scabbing, which is breaking the strike. So let's
Yeah.
talk about our reactions to that initial very first statement before we get into the next statement and then the resolution, because it's so much.
I just feel like the whole like conversation around like they're like you said trying to save the world or we're putting people back to work like it's such a cop out because Drew got it. Like if you want like a lot of these shows are starting funds for the writers to like carry them throughout the strike for her and her team or whatever the show to be like, oh, we're doing this for the people. Girl, stop.
Drew has the money to pay these people out of her own pocket, indefinitely. She has
Or
been in
start some kind of
Hollywood
fun
since the
something.
day she was born. She's a ultra nepo baby. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Even though we love Drew, that's the truth. She an ultra nepo baby. She got it. She got it. And it's like if she's really worried, because obviously there are other people on the staff in production who are not writers,
Mhm.
who, as the show has been on hiatus, they're going through it also. But I'm sure that for the most part, those people are probably in solidarity with the writers. Those people are probably extremely overworked and underpaid in
Yeah.
their own ways too, or whatever. And if they're not okay, and if they are struggling, like you pointed out, Drew absolutely has the means to make sure those people are taken care of until the strike is over. And I don't know why she feels like the only solution is to get back to work when that is in direct contradiction with the strike, because it's like, and I've seen a lot of people kind of go into why this is bad, because I didn't have my own understanding of this. Obviously, it's not being a part of Hollywood or whatever, but this really kind of undercuts the whole point of the strike, because if the studios are still going to be able to get shows and movies and things
Mhm.
like that, if those things are still going to go on, they have zero reason to settle and make this right. They have zero reason to pay these people, to get these people their money. Like if shows are still going to move forward without the writers, it really just undercuts the entire purpose. And it's like when one big show does this, other big shows are going to fall in line and possibly start doing it too. And then it's just not good. It's just not good for the rights. Like I said, it's people on TikTok who can explain that way better than I can.
Yeah.
But that's just what it comes down to. Like there's a reason why so many of these shows and production companies are struck shows or production companies, because it does not help their cause for y'all to still move forward and continue as business as normal. So
Yeah. I mean, to my understanding, that's the whole purpose of the strike is to kind of stop these big networks and big wigs from basically moving forward
yeah,
and continuing to make money
yep.
and for them to try to like make it seem like I feel like they kind of thought like like it's been going on for a while. Maybe people forgot, but ain't nobody forgot.
Anybody forgot? Mm-mm.
Nobody forgot. I
No.
don't know. I think that's the vibe I'm getting. Like, let's wait this out a little bit.
Mhm. Yep, exactly, exactly. So, obviously, that was met with a ton of backlash. I mean, it was to the point where her own writers were outside of her studios striking their show that they work at, which is wild. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But it obviously that just shows the necessity and the
Yeah.
importance of the strike in the first place. So, because of the backlash, Drew put out another statement. This one was a video on her Instagram page where she was extremely, on the brink of crying. At one point, I feel like she got a little teary, and where she like deeply, deeply apologized for continuing with the show and for the people that she had hurt. But then she doubled down on continuing with the show, even though she just apologized.
It's
So,
giving a YouTube content creator apology, borderline ukulele type
mm-hmm.
vibes.
Yeah.
In my
Yep.
like very relatable background, in my,
Mm-hmm.
clearly a mansion, but I'm gonna make it look like it's a 2-bedroom
I'm
house.
gonna go to the guest room. I'm gonna go somewhere that's not as
Let me not put
fancy
on
and
any
fabulous.
makeup.
Uh-huh. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Like, y'all
Yep.
have done it so many times that the people can see right through that bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like we the people are becoming like getting closer and closer to just eating the rich, because they've been messing up so bad and
Mhm.
it's been so infuriating. And that's when she kind of even doubled down on her stance of how how much her show was helping people, and it just felt very, very egotistical, and it just felt very self-centered, and it's like, you can't do something and then apologize for it and want forgiveness, but then continue to do it. How does that work? It's like, okay, Imma steal from you, but I'm so sorry I stole from you, and now Imma continue to steal from you though, but just know that I'm sorry, that I have to do this.
Yeah, just saying sorry, just quote unquote absolves you from everything. And it's like, I
Mhm.
think the people have we have too much access, like with social
Mhm.
media and just the internet in general. Like we get it now.
Yeah.
And unfortunately with social media, we've seen these type of apologies. It's not just celebrities anymore. It's now like
Mhm.
influencers that have been doing this. So we know we can pick up on the cues immediately. And I don't know who's our PR team, but they need to get with the times, because although she says it wasn't a PR,
Yeah.
stunt behind it, like, you clearly reading the script, girl, like
Clearly something. Yeah, and it just I've seen a lot of people say this too in regards to the situation, like, the best apology is change behavior, and so if
Mhm,
you're not gonna change your behavior and if you're gonna still move forward on what you're doing, but you're so sorry about it, you're not actually sorry about it, and that video statement caused even more backlash than her original statement, to the point where I believe she took it down
mhm.
either the same day or the next day. It was
It was
down
pretty
very
close, yeah.
fast. Yeah, because it was not received well at all, and it shouldn't have been. Like, it was just BS. Like, you don't care. Like, don't say that you care, but you're still gonna do it. You don't really care. It doesn't mean anything. So that brings us to the resolution of all this. And mind y'all, this all happened within a week, a literal week. All these
Mhm.
statements, apologies, changes, and what they were gonna do. Oh, you know what? Let me backtrack
Hasn't
before I
even
get
been
to
a
the
week?
resolution.
Hasn't
It's
even
been
Okay,
almost exactly a week because
okay.
I forgot about the part where some guests were kicked out of the audience of her show for wearing like WGA strike pins or whatever. Did you see that story? Yeah, like people were
Mm-mm.
kicked out of her show, like people in the audience were kicked out of her show for wearing strike pins. And of course, because of the horrible backlash, Drew reached out to them and offered them tickets to the show, which why would they take tickets to the show they just got kicked out of for
Gotta
literally
yeah.
wearing a pin? Like, they weren't even in there like causing a big ruckus. They literally just
They
had
just had the
on
pins.
a pin on.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then after that, as they were letting guests in, they were checking their bags and confiscating any type of strike shirts, pins, paraphernalia, anything. So they weren't gonna kick you out anymore because that looked too bad, but they were gonna take all your shit that showed that you were in solidarity with the strike. Even though, let them tell it they're in solidarity with the strike too. I forgot about that.
This is wild. This is so
A
wild. Because
nightmare.
it's like they wanna record the show, but they don't want people to, like, showcase what they're do
But let them tell it. They are in solidarity with the strike. They keep saying like we're abiding by the rules of the strike, even though by literal virtue of them creating the show, they're not. But they just
yeah.
kept trying to, gaslight everybody into believing that they were going by the rules of the strike. But it's like, okay, so then why are you taking away strike pins and paraphernalia if you stand in solidarity?
Yeah.
Right.
What's the issue?
So that brings me to the resolution that today Drew put out another IG statement now saying that she is going to pause the production of the show until the strike is over. And it's like, I just can't help but think, like, if you were coming to this, like, Drew, this is what you were doing a week and a half ago. You had already been in, pausing the show until the strike was over. You could have just stuck with that and avoided this literal media nightmare. But for whatever reason, I don't know if it was greed or ego or whatever, you decided to unpause your show. Then you decided to double down on unpausing your show, and now you're deciding to pause your show again. And it's like, she just created all of this bad will towards herself and her show for literally no reason. Literally no reason. To appease the studios, I don't really know what the motivation was.
I don't get it either. Because right now you just look a mess.
Yeah.
This looks chaotic as hell.
Mhm. Mhm. Very. Very chaotic. And you know what? One thing that I did see, there was a guy, I believe he's like a science teacher or something like that. And he had came out and he said that he had been invited to come on the Drew Barrymore show, I believe for their like September 20th taping or something like that. And at first he was all set to do it, but then once he realized that this was a struck show and they were going against, the strike rules in order to put this show into production, he pulled out of it. And like I said, he made a TikTok explaining, why he pulled out of it and everything. And I have a feeling that, because Drew's show is like a talk show based type of show, whatever, where she has guests and other
Yeah.
celebrities and stuff come on. I have a feeling she was having a real issue getting people to come onto her show. And that's really what pushed them into this. Not even so much the
Absolutely.
backlash, but it's like there's no show to make if it's just her sitting on stage by herself. What's the show? Especially seeing this
Why did they
backlash.
put this shit through?
Girl, it was
Like,
it
who's
was
gonna
so
come on
short-sighted.
here?
It was so short-sighted. Yeah. Yeah. And probably if they did get anybody to commit to coming on, no shade, it probably wasn't anybody really worthwhile. Because there's always some people who gonna be willing to do whatever for clout, whatever. But I feel like the people that they probably really wanted, like the other celebrities, other actors and stuff, they was like, absolutely not. Especially once all this backlash happened. Like, even if they
Yeah,
would
for
have thought
sure.
about it before, once they saw this backlash, they was like, absolutely not. I'm not risking my reputation and career to sit on your couch for 10 minutes to talk to you. No.
I
know.
They really tried it. And now she's trying to walk it back like it was her decision. I think, what you said is right. They just couldn't get nobody on the show. So there is no show.
There's no show. Because you already don't have no writers. And now you don't have no guests. What is the show? What is
Just
the
Drew
show?
sitting there, basically.
Right. Talking about what? To who? To the producer? Yeah, this was just it was
This is
so
bad.
short-sighted and just so ridiculous and so unnecessary for her to just go back to doing what she was doing a week and a half ago, which is not making the show. She right back there, but now she got all this hate and vitriol that is very well deserved. For what, girl?
Yeah, I really think that they were like, it's been long enough, the people as in, the everyday folks probably already forgot. Like, clearly, the writers and actors are still, out in the street protesting and stuff. But I think they thought the masses have forgot.
Yeah.
And they found out, no.
Yep. And you know what? I also saw a lot of comparisons to other programming that has been able to continue regardless of the strike, such as like Good Morning America. I think there are some other like talk show style hosts that shows that have been able to continue. I know in the instance of like GMA, like that's considered like a news show in its contract. So there's some sort of stuff going on behind the scenes that makes it so that show is not breaking the strike by continuing. There are certain shows that fall into that category as like a news show. Drew, that ain't your show. Ain't nobody going to you for news, sweetie. That's the ego again.
It's
you know. Ain't nobody getting no news from Drew Barrymore. Be so for real.
I'm sorry, that's just so funny to me because I feel like that's what they were trying to, or did they say that's what they were trying to like, fall into the category of
I don't know
news?
that for sure. I've never heard her say that, but that is so what I've heard from, the TikTok experts
the people
talking about this. So this is speculation, but it's probably true.
That's why they kept saying, we are within, the rules of.
But that's up to your contract. That's not for you to decide today that you a news show.
What news, Drew?
What news?
You talk to people about their movies and like they would be scabbing by coming on there talking about a movie.
Bingo. Yep.
So who nobody thought it through. They just thought nobody was gonna say anything.
They did. Yep. And you know what? Drew is not the only scab the situation is happening. There have been lots of others, like Bill Maher. He is continuing on with his show. He put out a statement saying that, he's bringing back his show. He know it's not going to be as good without the writers, yada, yada, yada. But the thing, I feel like the main difference between Drew Barrymore and Bill Maher is that don't nobody expect nothing good from Bill Maher at this point. Like he is just he's an asshole. And I feel like most of us kind of know that.
I
You
mean, well,
know,
yeah.
he should be held to the same standards. I'm not saying he should. I'm just saying I feel like that's why it's not a big and loud of an outcry because don't nobody really expect anything from him. And who knows? It might be later on once the show is back. I don't know. I just hadn't heard nearly as much about his situation as I had heard about hers, but also she's been the one constantly putting out statements and walking the back and doing all this. He, as far as I've seen, he's put out one statement and ain't said nothing else. So that might have something to do with also why we're not hearing as much about his situation as we are about hers. I don't know.
I mean, if I was a writer on the Bill Maher show or whatever it's called, I would feel the way.
Yeah, of course. They should.
Yeah.
He's scabbing.
Yeah.
Don't make no mistake. He's scabbing as well. I'm just saying the reason why I don't think I think there are other reasons why he hasn't got as much attention and negativity as Drew Barrymore has. But for all we know, his writer's gonna be outside his studio picking in as well, which they shouldn't be.
Yeah, as they should. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's like you said, it just boils down to like we see him as an a-hole who don't
Mhm.
care. And
Mhm.
Drew tries to come off as this person who was like for the people and I care about everybody. That's why she
Mhm.
did that first initial apology.
Mhm.
You can't be that person and then decide like,
To do something
yeah.
selfish. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. And also I've heard rumblings about Jennifer Hudson's show. She has like a similar style of show like Drew,
Mhm.
like a talk show. I've heard rumblings about her show coming back also. Haven't seen as much about it though. I don't really know why, so I don't even know for sure if her show is coming back. Mainly, I'm getting her situation from like Drew, like the comments of people talking about Drew, like,
Yeah.
"Hey, why is nobody worried about Jennifer Hudson?" Da, da, da. But I hadn't seen anything like very um like exact
They
about
see
her
what's going on
situation.
now. They probably pumped the brakes on that shit.
Girl, because again, I mean, her show is very much talk show based too. So I don't know
Mhm.
who is coming on her show that anybody cares about during the strike.
Yeah, because in a sense, it's just promo for what these actors, have going on.
100%. Yes.
And you can't come on the show to promote anything. So like I don't
Yeah.
understand why they thought they were going to just continue on. Like what was she gonna do?
I don't
Show
know.
us her new pots and pans? Like what was she gonna be able to do?
That sounds about right.
Like talk about stuff they see on TikTok?
I
I
know.
don't like what was the show gonna be? I just
I
that's what I
Great
don't
question.
understand, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's wild. It is just very, very wild. So yeah, I think as far as the Drew Barrymore show, hopefully that has come to some type of that resolution can stay and stick. Who knows? She might delete that statement tomorrow and bring her show back. It's been a lot of back and forth with that one.
yeah.
But we'll definitely keep y'all updated if anything else comes out. Also, I'm definitely gonna try to look more into the Bill Maher situation and the Jennifer Hudson show situation as well. Hopefully have some updates on that too, because I don't know what's going on with y'all. Like, I also feel like it's not. I think as rich as a lot of these celebrities are, I think this is starting to hurt their pocket too, and they don't like that. But that's the point. It needs to
That is the
hurt the
point.
right people's pockets in order for people to change. Like people like Drew Barrymore and Jennifer Hudson and Bill Maher, like y'all are in positions of power where y'all can really push these studio executives to do the right thing by not doing your show, and you need to do that. Period. Like y'all are not nearly as hurt as these writers who can barely keep their lights on, and they're dependent on the donations of other really rich celebrities to keep
Mhm.
going. Y'all are not in the same position as them, so y'all got to give it up. Don't nobody care about you not being able to afford one more yacht trip for the year. Nobody cares. It's
It's
wild.
so wild. The apologies in the guest house. Come on now.
Girl, we're gonna talk about that too. We're gonna talk about that too, because that's something that I can't. But anyway, moving on. So we gotta talk about this situation with Bria Jones. So if y'all are not familiar, Bria Jones is an influencer, content creator, primarily on TikTok. We talked about her a few months ago because she's the one who had the whole situation with, Fanita and the chart trip and that other girl who should not be named. And, that's
Goblets and
where
coats.
there we go. Goblets and there we go, exactly. There we go. So, yeah. And I really like Bria Jones. So I actually started following her after that situation because I didn't know anything about her until that situation. But I started following her and I like her. She's a great, cute little personality or whatever, makes really cute content. So now she has a situation where she went out to dinner with a group of friends, okay? And one of her friends bought a friend. So not somebody that she was friends with, but like a friend of one of her friends had come too, right? They went to a really, I guess, fancy, expensive restaurant. It was like a big group of them. The check came. Bria was like, "Hey, I'll pay the check, and y'all just Venmo me your money, whatever the situation was." Right?
Okay.
Apparently, everybody Venmo Bria the money for their portion of the check, except for that friend of a friend who owes Bria $240 for
Girl,
her
what
portion
did
of
you
the check.
buy?
Yeah, yeah.
How you go? First of all, you wasn't even invited.
You weren't invited.
And then you gonna run up the tab?
Run up the tab and then not pay. So
This is
apparently,
why
go
you do
ahead.
not invite
Mhm.
people that wasn't originally invited. Like, don't be like, this my friend, they cool.
Mhm.
Like, now you are probably in a weird position with the rest of the group of friends because your
Mhm.
friend who you thought was cool ain't paid back nobody.
I know.
Don't
I
do
know.
that. That's
Don't do
not
that.
cool. Don't do that.
I know. Yeah. But so, and apparently Bria has reached out to this girl multiple times on like Instagram. I think DMing her. Girl has like left her on red. Won't even respond. Won't even respond. The audacity of this situation is so wild to me. It is so wild. And I'm sure now
That's embarrassing.
that girl probably sitting up somewhere big mad that Bria has put this on TikTok because Bria has not identified this person, has not said any type of identifying information at all. Like nobody who is not directly in their friend group who was probably at that table even knows who this person is. So she
Yeah.
didn't dox her or nothing like that. But that girl know who she is. And she probably somewhere big mad
Oh, for
that
sure.
Bria got the whole internet dragging her. But it's just like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? So my question is, and I want y'all to chime in at home as y'all listen to this, like let us know if you were Bria, one, how would you handle this situation? And two, what would you do to make sure you are never in this situation again?
See, I see why Bria was just like, and usually with these fancy restaurants, they don't let you split the check anyway. So I can see why she's just like, keep it simple, put it on my card, y'all pay me back.
Mm-hmm.
And she had no reason not to think anybody wasn't going to pay her back. So I don't know, because I can see myself in this situation, like just throw it on my card and y'all just give me the money back. But is it mean to be like, you can't have this person come? Like, we have a resi for X amount of people, this certain person can't come. Is that
The
mean?
person who did this in particular, or you can't have extra people who were not originally invited come.
You can't have extra people. To say,
No,
we got a
I think that's
reservation for
fine.
5 and,
I think that's totally fine.
Susie over here trying to invite Billy.
Yeah, after this, I think I would be like, Billy can meet us at the club afterwards
Yeah, because we can't add no more
because
people.
that, and also because, like you said, a lot of these restaurants either don't let you split or,
Mhm.
Bria was trying to just simplify the process for everybody involved.
Yeah.
I would not do that again if I was her, if there were people who I was not friends with there. You know what I'm saying? If I don't have your
Yeah.
phone number, I'm not paying for your food. Period. Because this would scare me so bad. I was like, really?
Or
Like
get the money up front, you think? Like,
at the
everybody Venmo
table.
me now at the
At the
table, yeah.
table, don't nobody leave without the vent. And you don't even want to have to do all that. That's the thing. Like, if somebody's just trying to be nice, why you got to do all that and take advantage of somebody just being nice and making the process easier for everybody involved, including, the waiter
Yeah.
or the server, you know what I'm saying? This makes the process easier for them too. But it's like, nah, that would be way gone after that.
Yeah, that's why I totally get why she did it,
Mm-hmm.
because I've done it before just to make it
Mm-hmm.
easy on everybody. Yeah, everybody.
Yeah, but it's
But
like
usually it's with
now
people you trust.
that's the thing. And I think had obviously that one person is the one person who is playing and is not
Mhm.
trying to pay their bill. It's none of her actual friends. So let me ask you this then. If you were the friend that brought that person, what
I
would you
probably
do?
would give you the money
Yeah. What if
'cause
you didn't have it?
it's not
But
worth
what if
messing
you
up my
didn't have
friendship.
it?
I
Isn't that so crappy for
200
everybody?
bucks is a lot of money, though.
Girl,
I mean, just for some
it's so
food,
messed up. It's so messed up. Mhm.
that is a lot, but I think I'd just pay it just to be like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I'd be like, "Girl, I am so sorry.
yeah.
I'm gonna pay you, and then I'm gonna badger this girl to the ends of the earth to get my money back from her, because you shouldn't have to do that. You don't even know her, and it was my bad for bringing her."
And it sounds like whoever that friend is leaving it up to Bria to communicate to her, which is awkward as hell. Like, you
I
brought her.
know. That's the thing. You know, because I think Bria has made some updates on the situation. Well, I know I've seen her talk about people's response, because actually it hasn't just been 100% across the board where we're saying some people have actually been finding a way to blame Bria for this, which we'll talk about.
They just
But
don't like
yeah,
her.
that's the thing. I think they just don't like her. But yeah, I haven't seen if what her friend's involvement is. I don't know if she has talked on that or not. But like you said, like if she's having to DM this girl on her own, like I don't know if maybe she just went out of her way to do it on her own and she
Mhm.
didn't even ask the friend to get involved. But I think that would have been the first thing I would have been doing. I'm like, hey girl, your friend that you brought left me high and dry. And I think I would probably wait until once I messaged the girl and she left me on red. I think that's when I would have got the mutual friend involved and been like, "What's up with homegirl?" Like, like
High
what?
yeah. High key, I think I probably would have left it to the friend just
Yeah, to
in
just go
general.
do the whole
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm thinking maybe Bria just didn't want to involve her, but I mean, it's her friend, so she is already involved. Like, she wouldn't have been there if not for that friend.
Don't do that, y'all. Don't bring extra people.
Mm-mm.
And I get, like, if she was hanging out with her and didn't wanna be, like,
Mm-hmm.
rude about it, but you like, "Hey, I got somewhere to be." And if
I
that's your friend,
mean,
they should be able to
yeah.
understand, like, everybody don't have the same exact group of friends.
Yeah, she probably just didn't expect her friend to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you
I
just
mean,
don't expect
nobody
your
thinks
friend to
that.
do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like that's embarrassing for you
That's so
too. If the
embarrassing.
person that you brought
Yeah.
did that, then it's so bad. So yeah, so also Bria, there have been some people who have taken a stance that Bria was wrong. There was this one guy who stitched Bria's video of the original situation, who was saying, well, actually, Bria brought this on herself because she stole this girl's ability to get credit card points for using her credit card to pay for her food. And Bria got all the credit card points, so they even.
That's assuming Bria has credit card points on that card.
That's assuming the other girl got a credit card
It
too.
don't sound like she can't come up with $200.
Something.
She probably ain't got no credit card, or at least it's
Exactly.
maxed.
So people have been exposing themselves a lot in their response. Obviously, people are blaming her
Was
for
that
even
satire?
paying.
That
No,
cannot be real.
he was dead ass. He was
Dead
dead
ass
ass.
serious?
He was dead
Over
ass.
some credit card points?
Yep. Yep. He was dead ass serious. Yeah, people have been exposing themselves and their ridiculousness left and right, because some people are taking the stance that she shouldn't have paid for everybody's food. This was on her because she assumed responsibility, and this could. But it's like nobody is thinking that this is going to happen. That's the thing.
Mhm.
Hindsight is 2020, and I'm sure moving forward, Bria will probably be very hesitant to pick up those bills.
Absolutely.
You know
Like
what I'm
like I
saying?
said, like, I've done that before, so it's
Yes.
normal behavior when you go out
Mhm.
as a group to either be like, "I'll put it all on my card, y'all Venmo me," just to make it simple. Because who wants to
Yep.
go through who got the cheese sticks? Like, nobody wants to go through all that,
Nobody wants to go through that. And
and most
also,
restaurants don't do that no more.
don't force people to have to chase you down for their money. I I think I hate that
Yeah.
more than anything. Like, if because it just makes you just feel weird, and it's like I hate the feeling of having to chase somebody down for my money. That's why, like, if there's ever a situation where somebody pay for me for something or whatever, I try to pay them back expeditiously. And if I don't,
Yeah.
I'm open communication, like, hey, I'm getting paid Friday. I got you, like letting them know what's going
Yeah.
on and not just leaving them wondering because that is just such a crappy feeling to know this person owes you money. And it's like none of us are just balling rich. Like none of us are just millionaires to where you're not thinking about $200. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm thinking about $200, and I ain't ashamed to say that. So
Girl, especially for just a one night out, I'm
yeah,
absolutely thinking about $200. Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. And it's like, I feel like, we don't know what Bria's financial situation is. She seems to be pretty comfortable. But at the end of the day, it's just the principle
It's
of
the
it. Like,
principle.
nobody should do you like this and just expect to get away with it. And honestly, like, I hope she is in communication with that mutual friend at bare minimum to let her know, like, sis don't need to come to nothing else, period. I don't care where we're going. I don't care if we're going to the Beyonce show and there's 2,000 other people there. No, I don't need to see her. Keep her home. Cause
Oh,
I'm gonna
girl.
walk up on her like, "Where's my money? Like, run me my money."
Yeah. I would be
Like,
side-eyeing the friend too, cause like,
yeah, if she
is
don't
these the type
care,
of people you be around?
yeah, and or if
Yeah.
she's not trying to make it right, if she not
Yeah.
doing anything, because like I said, I'm not sure. I'm gonna go back to Bria's page and see. So I'm sure
Yeah.
people have asked her like, "Hey, what has your friend done?" And for all we know, the friend has volunteered to pay her back, and Bria won't take it or whatever the situation
Yeah.
is. But we just don't know. But if she's not doing that, if she's not trying to make it right, if she's not blowing up her friend phone or not trying to pay Bria back, then she did wrong too. Because I would feel responsible for that.
That's just not cool.
It's not cool,
Run
no.
her money. Even I'm sure Bria seems like the type of person who will be on this too. Like, if you ain't got the whole thing, 50 here, 50 there. It's
Yeah,
not,
something.
yeah, something. But to go
Yeah.
ghost, like you playing in my face now.
But also,
You shouldn't have
if
been
if
ordering $200 worth of food if you
that's
ain't
the
had it.
thing, if
But
that's your situation,
yeah,
which no shade at
yeah,
all, but don't go nowhere and run up no bill like that because I'm thinking the girl, unless Bria volunteered to pay for it at the beginning of dinner, that girl probably had no idea that she was gonna do that. So you
yeah.
were prepared to pay that when you started ordering all this food. I would assume you would be. So
I don't know. I would
live
like
within
to
your
hear her
means.
side of the story too, just to
Mhm.
see like where her head was at. Because even if you thought that Bria was gonna pay for everything, you would respond back like, "Girl, I thought you had it. I thought you
I
were covering
know.
the whole tab."
You would not just leave her on
Yeah, you wanna
red.
leave her on red. So that theory is just out the window for me. Like,
Yeah.
you're just trying to get over it. It just is
Yep.
what it is. Yeah.
Purely. And this reminds me of an episode of Sex and the City because y'all know I just did a Sex and the City rewatch where I rewatched the entire show and the two movies or whatever. So good. But there was an episode where Carrie went to a party. I think it was like a baby shower or some type of event at one of her friends' houses, right? And a friend had a very strict rule about not walking into the house like with your shoes on, like leaving your shoes at the door to not track like mud and dirt and
Mhm.
all that. Typical things that a lot of people
Yeah.
do or whatever. Carrie, if you know anything about Carrie Bradshaw, she's a very big shoe girl. So she had on some Manolo Blahnik shoes and they cost like $400 or something like that. But she obliged with the house rule, left her shoes at the door, which were inside of the apartment. It wasn't outside the apartment, it was inside
Mhm.
the apartment, like right at the door. She left her shoes at the door. Then, the end of the night, her and her friend were leaving. They were some of the last people to leave. Carrie's shoes were gone. So another guest took Carrie's shoes. And it wasn't a situation where they got her shoes mixed up or nothing. Somebody just blatantly took her shoes and their own shoes because there were no other shoes left over or
Mhm.
whatever, right? And at first, the friend whose house it was tried to act like it was like, maybe they'll turn up. And then Carrie was like, okay. And then Carrie reached back out to her like a few days later and was like, hey, did my shoes turn up? And the friend was like, no, no, Carrie, they didn't. And then Carrie was like, okay. And then the friend was like, oh my gosh, Carrie, I'm so sorry. I'll pay you for the shoes. How much? And then Carrie was like, $400. And then the friend tried to be like, I shouldn't have to pay for your extravagant lifestyle. That's her exact words. And Carrie was like, choose to take off my shoes. Like, I was here for you to celebrate an event in your life, and I was forced to take off my shoes, and one of your people stole my shoes. Like, be so for real. So at the end of the day, the lady ended up paying her for the shoes or giving her the shoes or like buying her some new shoes or whatever, the same ones. But it was just the audacity to act like you didn't have nothing to do with that situation. Like, I'm so sorry. Girl, this is your house.
So was supposed to pay depreciation value of the shoes or something? Like,
I don't know what she expected.
Like, that was your rule. Unfortunately, you have some shady people
Exactly
at your
and
house.
You're responsible.
It is what it is.
Yeah. Exactly. Check your friends. Check your friends.
Or just don't have people at your
Or don't have people at your
That's
house.
my
And don't pay for people food, period. Like, let's just change things moving forward to make sure we don't get in these situations because unbelievable.
That's hilarious to be like, I shouldn't have to pay for your extravagant lifestyle. Girl, if you get out my face.
Because then she was like, you chose to buy shoes that expensive. And that's when Carrie was like, I didn't choose to take them off. You made me take my shoes
That was
off.
your house rule. And I was respecting you. So respect me and run me my check for my shoes.
Period. And don't invite shady people to your house who steal shoes. How about that? Girl.
My first thing, I would have called everybody and cussed everybody out that was at my house. Like, shoes better come up in 48 hours.
I legitimately would have demanded a list of guests with their phone numbers and been like, I'm calling everybody if you want, because I want my shoes back, period. Give me their address and shoe while we at it. I'm going to just pull up.
So wild. I wish I had the TikTok, but some girl, like actually another New Yorker, because Sex and the City is in New York, right? She was hooking up with some guy who actually turned out to be like married or at least in a relationship or something.
Of course.
He stole her shoes out of her house.
No, why would he steal her shoes? To sell them?
He sold her shoes and gave it to his girlfriend or wife or whoever he was dating, partner, whatever.
Absolutely.
So she had a whole like story time on it, and she found the shoes, found the girl wearing the shoes, and he finally returned them. And she literally recorded him giving her shoes back. So everybody's like, "How did he leave your house with the shoes?" Because they're like, "I don't know, I don't do shoes."
Maybe
they're
like
some
fancy,
overnight like loafers.
Maybe he had like
he didn't have a bag. She said his clothes were kind of baggy. She think he just like put it in his pants or whatever.
So he really went out of his way to steal those shoes for his old lady.
I told Chuck, if you give me some shoes, I want to see the box.
Literally. And I
like, how did that not click in your head?
They've never been worn.
Yeah.
You didn't care.
Like this random person. Well, your partner is giving you a pair of shoes and no box. Like, how do you explain that?
More than likely, that person would just have to be getting something from that man.
Yeah, because obviously he ain't.
He don't sound like he about nothing.
Mm-mm.
Yikes.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to find it and send it to you. That was an interesting story. And then people had the nerve to like slut shame her. She's like, I'm grown and single. I have the right to hook up whoever I want to hook up with.
No, that he was in a relationship or whatever. So like, that's not her responsibility to be like that. You should
that's not
do
even
like a
part of the
background
story.
check on somebody in order to like hang out with them or whatever. Like, people should just be honest.
It's 2023. I cannot believe people was in the comments like that was the part you hung up on, not the dude stealing the shoes and putting them down his pants, potentially, allegedly.
Girl, when I tell you I will never date again, like I don't care what my relationship status is, I will just never date again. It's so ghetto. I can't even. I can't.
Ain't no way.
You gotta worry about folks stealing from you.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
I can't. I cannot. Okay. Next, Lord Jesus, we back to this story again. Slight trigger warning. We're just gonna talk about the Ashton Kutcher, Mila Kunis situation. Again, we're not gonna dive into the details or anything like that, but just wanted to just let y'all know.
Mm-hmm.
But Ashton Kutcher and Mila have resigned from the organization that they were part of. They were the head, or they had something to do with an organization that fights to prevent like sex trafficking and things like that or whatever. They have resigned from that in light of, their letters supporting convicted rapist Danny Masterson getting exposed. So yeah. And that apparently Ashton has been a part of that organization since like 2015, like not 2015, but for 15 years, even back when him and Demi Moore were married, which is a long time. And
Yeah.
now, like, it's just, I mean, I think that was the right decision for sure. And I'm glad that they are facing some like real world consequences besides just getting a lot of backlash. But I just don't understand, like, why are y'all ruining y'all whole lives and reputation for shitty, scary people? I just don't get it. Like, regardless of whatever that person was to you, like, that does not mean that they're not capable of, one, not being who you thought they were, and two, being horrible to other people. You know?
And, I get it. I get, knowing a person or feeling like you know a person. But,
Okay.
I get, like if I found out something heinous about, my husband, for example, like it would be hard for me to wrap my head around that, But I for damn sure will not be on the front lines. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just can't, especially if you know, are saying that you're a part of this organization or whatever. Now, did they just step down or they completely resign, have nothing to do with it anymore? Because I know a lot of people like they step down, but they still on the board or whatever.
As far as I know, I don't think they have anything to do with it anymore, but I'm not 100% certain about that. But I think, especially given the gravity of this situation, I think the only appropriate thing for them to do is to be out of it 100% completely. So
Yeah.
hopefully that's what they did, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. No, I agree, but I mm-mm. It just ain't no way. Like, I get, being like, "Dang, I cannot believe this person did this." But why do you have to take it the extra step?
I know.
That's the part I don't get it.
I know. It's wild. It's really, really wild. And it reminds me of, everything with Bill Cosby, because a lot of his Cosby Show co-stars, Felicia Rashad, especially, were like very vocally supportive of him during all that. And it was just not cool. Not cool at all. Like, I'm not even saying that I expect people to just, totally take these people out of their life and have
Right,
nothing to
yeah.
do with them. I don't even expect that necessarily. But publicly,
Mhm.
yeah, like you
'Cause
should
you
have
ain't
nothing
gotta
to do
say
with them
nothing.
publicly. Yeah, like, because not only is that just really an affront to the victims involved in these cases, but like, even if you don't care about the victims, think about yourself in your own career. You know what I'm
At
saying? Like, even
minimum,
if
be
you don't,
selfish. Yeah.
at minimum, but you're doing something selfless, which usually we appreciate when people do something selfless,
Yeah.
but not in situations like this where you're supporting somebody who is not only accused but convicted of doing some just extremely heinous things. Like, this person, they had, the due diligence was done. They stood trial. They had a lawyer. There was evidence presented, and a jury of their peers still found them guilty of it. That's overwhelming to me. And I'm not saying that, like, sometimes false convictions don't happen,
Right, yeah.
but when those situations are that, and when they're this, and when the evidence is overwhelming. You know what I'm saying? So this
Yeah.
is just ridiculous. This is just so ridiculous to me. Especially like, if the person who's accused of something is a person who's like rich, famous, in this huge position of power, those are not the people that false convictions happen to. Just in general, they're just not.
Yeah.
You know
They
what
have
I'm
the power.
saying?
Yeah.
Yes, they have the power. They have all the resources. They have the best lawyers that money can buy. They have everything fighting in their favor. That's not who these type of things happen. That type of thing happens to. So, not to say it's impossible. It's just very, 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 very unlikely. So,
Why?
I don't know.
I just
I
don't.
don't know.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because selfishly, you don't have to say
You
anything.
don't. Mm-mm.
And if that's your people and
Mm-mm.
that's your friend, they will have to understand. Like, I'm sorry,
Mm-hmm.
I can't speak up for you, man.
Yep. Yep. I'ma support you from
From
afar.
far.
Let me
Mhm.
know if your family needs anything. I got your family back. But you gonna pay for
Maybe
what you
you could
did.
call, you know,
Maybe.
maybe because those recorded too, sir. I don't know.
Maybe not actually. Don't
Uh,
call me.
yeah.
But your family
Mm-mm.
can. And I will help your family. You ain't gotta worry about your family. I got your family. But
Send
you
me a
though,
letter.
you gonna pay for what you did. And you need to.
Speaking of
So
like jail calls, I went down that rabbit hole for the Steve Harvey thing. Have you seen that?
no, what is
So
it?
apparently one of Steve Harvey has that morning show.
I love his morning show, yes.
The strawberry I think her name is
Yes, the
Shirley.
strawberry letter.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So her husband went to
Uh-huh.
jail about this time last year, and she like was having calls with him, and
Uh-huh.
the calls leaked basically, and she was talking shit about Steve Harvey. Like basically,
I didn't know
it was
that.
casual, kind of like tea, like
Yeah.
this is she was talking to her husband, so I'm like,
Yeah. So
well, I
she
was
gonna
like,
say some stuff.
yeah, she
Yeah.
was
It's
like,
like she's
yeah,
talking about her boss, basically.
basically that's what it was. Yeah, they Steve let him in his house and he was going up the stairs. She was talking about how nice the house was and that he was breathing hard going up and down the stairs. And when she got home, she said, I went walking because that can't be me.
Wait a damn minute. Don't you be dragging me to your jailbird husband. What?
Yeah.
I'm offended.
It's a little sus because right now, Steve, there's some rumors about him and his wife, not.
Oh, not having
And then
problems
when
and
these
stuff.
coming out, because these calls were made back in October 2022. So now these calls coming out trying to
Oh.
like make it seem like it's trouble in paradise.
And
But
it's the lady on his show.
yeah, whoever
I
does
think
the
her name is
strawberry
like
letter.
Shirley or
Yeah.
somebody
Yeah.
like that. Okay. Oh,
She is
wow.
now estranged from the husband because
Well,
you know,
okay.
but the conversations sound like, you just talking to your husband. But
Right.
that was interesting. Yeah. That's a good rabbit hole to go down if y'all like just look up, Steve Harvey strawberry letters. I'm sure it'll be the first thing to come up. But
Oh, and I will. And I will.
I
That's
was like,
wild.
I mean, this is a bit messy, but also like I could see you just talking shit with your husband. Like,
I mean, yeah, if you can't talk
yeah.
you the crap with your partner, who can you talk it with? But
Yeah.
come on.
And then people are like, it was recorded. I'm like, yeah, of course she knew it was recorded, but nobody would think those would get leaked.
If she was a normal person not on his show, it never
Yeah.
would have got leaked.
Yeah.
Nobody ever would have heard those. Yeah, it just so happens that because of her job, she is in the spotlight. But nobody can even pick this woman out of a lineup walking down the street.
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
wild.
Now her
That's
whole
wild.
business is out there. It sounds like her husband is like a scammer.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
At
So
least at least Steve Harvey is a comedian, so I'm sure he has a sense of humor. And hopefully he didn't take this too much to
he
heart.
said he didn't. But I feel away. Like, damn, you coming in my house talking shit
Look,
about me.
if
Saying
next
that,
year
my wife reached
Shirley
out like
all
to
of a
help.
sudden not on the show,
We know.
we know why.
And she lost everything. So she was like,
Dang.
I'll let you listen to it. Just
Imma listen
yeah.
to it.
Yeah.
Ooh,
It
dang, that's juicy.
Yeah,
That's
that tea was
juicy.
hot. I'm like, I don't even know what channel this Steve Harvey show come on, but I need to listen to see if she still got a job.
I don't either. And you know what? Because I had stopped listening to it for a long time because I had just stopped being like out in my car that early because they
Yeah.
literally do the strawberry letter like 7:08 or some random
Yeah.
time
So,
like
yeah.
that. But now I'm in my car that early. I might need to start back tuning in because it is really juicy. It's
I
very, very juicy.
I hope she keeps her job though, because that's so messed up.
Yeah, I
That
think they
man messed her whole life up.
I think she might, because I mean, she's been on that show with Steve for, I mean, at least a decade,
Yeah.
maybe two.
Mhm.
It's been a long, long time. So I would be very, very surprised if he really held that against her and got rid of her some type of way. It will make him look so petty, especially if she didn't
Mhm.
say anything like really crazy about him or his family.
Yeah, yeah. She said his wife look at them as the help, which I can believe.
I can believe that as
So
well.
he probably like, yeah, well, that's true.
I mean, y'all are.
It's not a lie, but
That's probably
I don't know.
exactly how
I
they
hope
think
I
about
hope
it.
nothing happened to her.
Yeah, me too.
If
Me
it
too.
does, it's probably like you said, it's gonna be in a year or two,
Yeah.
just to make
Yeah.
it seem like it's not connected. But
Right. Mm. Sus. That's crazy. I'm definitely gonna look into that. Okay. One more thing I want to talk about on this rundown is the school lunch debate that has been happening on TikTok. Have you seen any of this, Myra?
mm-mm.
Okay. So this all happened because I don't know. I don't know if the person themselves posted this or if a teacher posted it or what, but it was like a text exchange between a parent and a teacher, administrator, somebody like that within the school, where the parent, I think, where the parent was like mad because her child had been told that they could not DoorDash their lunch to school. Okay. It was like a school policy. There are a lot of schools and school districts are
Yeah,
enacting that you cannot do that. And the parent was mad because I guess they know about a teacher DoorDashing their lunch. So they're like, why can a teacher do it if a student can't do it?
because the teacher grown.
The teachers
Just
are
just why you could DoorDash at your regular 9 to
it's
5
your
job.
job.
Like, be so for real. Like, these parents are wild.
It's
This is
wild.
what I'm not ready for.
It's so wild. The entitlement on behalf of their kids is so because my thing is like not only that, but think about the ratio of students to teachers at school. Most of the time, that ratio is like 20 students to every one teacher, or 25 to 30
Right.
students to every one teacher. So if you were to allow students to DoorDash their food to school, how many hundreds of orders would that be all the time? Whereas for teachers, is one, it's a way smaller number, and then two, you have to think about school safety. Do you really want all these strangers? I mean, what if you had somebody posing as a DoorDash driver coming to the school to
Yeah.
bring lunch, and it really is like a somebody who wants to do harm
Right.
or
Yeah.
something like that? You know what I'm saying? So to equate a student's ability to do this to a teacher's ability to do it, it's very wild. It's very, very wild to me. And it's like, if you've ever been a teacher or you know of any teachers, like, that like most of the time, it's very hard for a teacher to even have the time to be able to leave the school building
Yeah.
at any point during the day, but especially to go get their lunch. Like when I was teaching, I left the school building very few and far between. That was not something that I did on a regular basis to go get my lunch because I just didn't have time to do that. Most of the time, I brought my lunch, or sometimes me and other teachers, we would take turns with one of us going to get everybody's lunch,
Yeah.
or one of us doing a DoorDash lunch, order for all of our lunch or something like that. It was just very, very rare. I just feel like if you open up that door for students to be able to do that, it's gonna get just widely abused and just be a hot ass mess. And also, somebody brought up a good point too, and they were like, "What if a student DoorDashes their lunch, it doesn't come on time, and then all of a sudden this student is bringing a full lunch to your classroom to eat because they didn't actually get it during lunch?" You know what I'm saying? You got to deal with
Yeah.
that type of situation
Yeah.
too. And just because teachers can
It's
do
too much.
something as adults does not mean that students should be able to do something as children. And I don't think that that's a bad thing to say.
No. They're not on the same,
Yeah,
level, it's
yeah.
just certain things that kids just aren't allowed to do while in
Mhm.
school. And I think the biggest thing, like you said, is safety.
Mhm.
And that should shut you up right there. I cannot believe somebody even uttered that out their mouth that a teacher can do it. So why can't my child? Are you for real?
Your teacher, the teacher is at job at work. This is their
That
job.
Yeah, and they're making it seem like the students are at work.
Yeah.
Like, no, that is
No.
it's not a job. They're being a student. They're there to
Mhm.
learn. This is a
Mhm.
way we can keep them safe. So we can't do that.
We cannot do that. But yeah, so I'm interested to know what you guys listening think about this. If
Why would
y'all
you pack
think,
their lunch? What's your issue with that? Why
uh,
can't you do your job as a parent and make sure your kid have lunch?
or you can drop your kids off at lunch in the office. Nobody is saying that you can't go to Wendy's and pick up something for your child and drop it off at the office. Nobody's stopping you from doing that. You could be your own child's DoorDash
I mean, that's
since
a
you
part
care
of
so
your
much.
job. Making
Since you
sure
care
your
so
child eat
much
is a part of your
about what they
job.
eat. Exactly. Like just do that.
I'm so blown by that. I'm so sorry, but yes, definitely let us know what y'all think.
Yeah, if y'all think the students should be able to DoorDash, I mean, tell us why. I'm curious. If we have any people who make a very good point, maybe we'll share them on the next episode. But I personally, I don't think even if you have a good reason for why your kids should be able to DoorDash, I don't think anybody should agree that a student's ability to do this or not do this should be equated to an adult grown person who
Mhm,
works their ability to do it or not do it, especially when, like I said, in a career like teaching, when you have such little time, you don't have time to leave the school building and go sit in somebody's drive-through line to get your lunch all the time. It's just not even feasible for them. And then the students have, I mean, you could just buy your lunch. It's just come on. It's a lot of different options. Like, come on.
yeah, we weren't
Make it
even
make
allowed
sense.
to, even leave the campus to go get lunch
I
because
don't think we were either. Yeah.
yeah, my high school is
Mm-mm.
fairly close to, like, a college campus, so it was tons of options. We couldn't even go over there after school as a high school student. We weren't even allowed to just even
What?
interact.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. I bet they probably had some situations where kids was doing the
Mhm.
most. And so the fast food restaurants or whatever probably talked to the school and was like, they can't come here no more. Even after school. Like, do not
Mm-mm.
let them come over here no
And
more.
I'm sure it just all boiled down to safety, and, like, me, as a high schooler, I didn't understand it, but looking back on it, it's like, yeah, I don't need to and there's a whole bunch of college people over there. I don't need to interact with
Yeah.
them as a freshman
Yeah.
in high school, you
Exactly.
know?
Yeah, it is. It's a big
Yeah.
safety issue. Like, we did something where we in my senior year, we had a class period where we went to like a local nursing home and like we just like went during those home, like just talked to the people who were there, just kind of, interact with them, kind of help them
Mhm.
like socialize and stuff. Cause some people in nursing homes, they don't ever see anybody outside of the nursing home,
Yeah.
unfortunately. So where we just did that and like me and my friends, like all of us in my senior class, we were always like as soon as we left, we would go stop at a fast food place to get our lunch, and then we'd go back to school. Like that was the only way that we got
Yeah.
outside of lunch, and we weren't even supposed to do that. We still just did it
Did
because
yeah.
we're kids.
Yeah.
We're already in the car. It's
Yeah.
right there. We're gonna get our food. Like, be for real.
Mhm. We
But
also
yeah,
snuck out to places
exactly,
I mean,
exactly.
but the rules were in place
The
for a
rules
reason.
were
Yeah.
in place and the rules did not apply to teachers, the grown
Mhm.
adults who work there. And it shouldn't. Like there are already like a lot of kind of ridiculous things that teachers have to abide by. Like dress codes is a big one. Like
Yeah.
I know that a lot of schools require teachers to have like dress like professionally casual, only wear jeans on certain days, things like that.
Mhm.
Where the kids come in school with sweatpants and pajama pants and literally wearing whatever. So you already have like some things that are not necessarily fair. This
Yeah.
should not be added to the list of what
Mhm.
teachers got to deal with because this is ridiculous. Like, y'all, we can't micromanage and control what these teachers are eating and where they're getting their food from. Like, let's be for real.
So so
Yeah.
dumb. So dumb.
Don't be that parent. Just
Mm-mm.
don't be that parent.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, we're gonna take a quick break to hear from our sponsors, and we will be right back. All right, y'all. So we are back. Let's get into some planner releases before we wrap up the show. So Moxie Life has officially unveiled their full lineup of their 2024 flagship planners. Noticeably, this does not include their daily planner because apparently some changes are being made to the daily to where that is not going to be available, I believe, until sometime next year into 2024. So it might be a
Mhm.
part of their like mid-year release next year. So this is just for their flagship planners, their folios, and their notebooks. So if you go to their IG page, you can see all of the designs and everything. And this collection is available to purchase as of September 28th. But yeah, let's just kind of talk about what we think about this collection. Myra, what say you?
Yeah, super excited for Julie's cover.
Yay,
So happy for
Julie.
her.
Mm-hmm.
Um this I do wish there was a little bit more neutral options because I am in my like, academia My planner looks like it belongs to Snape kind of vibes, and none of this stuff fits this.
Yeah,
So, I wish
yeah.
there was just some kinda plain options, I don't know, I just really wasn't expecting all of these different designs, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and that's like I like how they've made all the different covers like cohesive within their collection because like there's a one or two folio options, quite a few notebook options that matches each cover, which I think is really cool. But as far as like them kind of being cohesive to each other, they do feel very, very different and not even like they're a part of the same lunch, which I think
Mhm.
can be good because it kind of gives some options for everybody, but for me personally, like for the most part, none of the covers are like really my style. Besides Julie's cover, I absolutely love her cover. I think it's just perfect and it gives you colorful, but it's also still kind of neutral because it is
Yeah.
white. And I am in my colorful era, and that one just gives me the perfect amount of color. I'm not just saying that because Julie's my bestie, okay? But I don't care if y'all think that. Think it how you want. Who cares? Um, but yeah, I do wish they had more neutral options, like truly neutral, because really there's only one true neutral option. That's their navy blue
Mhm.
cover. I'm not really a navy blue girl. I wish they had some more covers because like they have like this really pretty like light teal folio. I would have loved that to have been a cover option because I just think that color is absolutely gorgeous. But I'm assuming it's not because it is a notebook cover option and it is the folio cover. But yeah, I like that they really, seems like they really went outside of the box to really try to do something different. And like I said, there are tons of different covers to choose from. I believe there are 8 total collections. But yeah, more neutral absolutely would have been my vote if I could have had any type of, say so over this release.
Yeah, I would have loved to see, like, maybe that gray that's on the folio
That
instead
would
of
have been
this
pretty.
navy blue. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, but, uh but yeah, I I don't know. I get what you're saying, but I don't feel like it's kinda cohesive, personally.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know, it just seems like a whole bunch of ideas, a whole bunch of great
Yes.
ideas came together,
Yes.
but I don't know if it was like
Yeah,
I
they
don't
don't really
I
just
don't know how
flow. It doesn't
yeah,
really flow
yeah,
together.
yeah,
Yeah, I see what you're
yeah.
saying.
Not saying that they're,
Mhm.
like, bad ideas or anything, I
Mhm.
just don't like, when I see a collection or a release from, I I it doesn't flow. It
Okay.
doesn't flow. It seems like there's totally different ideas, and maybe
Mhm.
3 of them really could have been cohesive together, and then maybe another 3 in another release or something, but I
Hmm.
think they just kinda was all, like, thrown in a box.
Yeah,
Kinda what
yeah.
it
I think
was feeling.
Yeah, I think if this were me and this were my planner company, here's I think I would have done if they were 8 options, I think I would have had 3 of them still be the artist collabs, one of them be designed by, me or my team or something like that, and then
Mhm.
just 4 neutral options and neutral covers, you know what I'm saying? Because I just feel like, especially when you're in a world where with most planner brands, you can like change your cover as
Mhm.
much as you want. Like EC, you can change your cover. Happy Planner, you can change your cover. Plum Paper, you can change your cover. If they don't have that option, I think they should have had more just neutral covers because I mean, as
Yeah.
far as I know, I haven't heard anything about them having like interchangeable covers coming up. But I hope they do because then you just have more options and everybody kind of gets tired of seeing the same old design for like a full year. You kind of want some variety. So I think that would be a good opportunity if they're not already doing that to have like some interchangeable covers.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
I mean, I guess you wanna take the time to do it, you totally can. Um,
Mhm.
it's nice to see them on a coil, though, instead of the O-ring,
Mhm.
but
That's huge.
yeah.
That is
Yeah.
huge. Yeah, and with their folio system, I think it would have been cool to see like their daily planner in like a folio booklet because right now it seems
Mhm.
like those booklets that they have available are just like dot grid or line notebooks. it would have been really nice to see their daily planner in that form so that you could put like the daily planner in the folio with a notebook. I don't know. It's kind of similar to the EC Petite Planner system. It just would be because they have that, but I love that idea. I love that system. So I just think it just makes sense, especially to have that go along with the flagship weekly planner. I just think that just makes perfect sense. But you know, maybe we'll see it in the future.
I'm sure we will. We don't know
Yeah.
nothing, but I have a
We
feeling
don't know
that
nothing.
yeah, yeah.
We don't know nothing.
So, yeah, no, take this with a grain of salt, but
Yeah, but yeah, overall, I think it's a good collection. I feel like the responses to it have been really, really positive, which is always great. And yeah, shout out to them for changing it to the coil instead of the O-ring. That's definitely been a long time coming. It looks like a slightly slimmer book. I have no idea for sure because I haven't seen it in person, but it does look a little bit slimmer than
mhm.
their O-ring planner. So I wonder what other changes have been made, or if any, to the inside to make it slimmer. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, or, the coil just makes things look slimmer, who
It
knows?
might be
Yeah.
that. It
Yeah.
might be that as well. Yep. But yeah, guys, let us know if y'all check out this collection on September 28th and let us know which cover option you end up going with.
Yes.
We'll give you extra kudos if you go to for Julie's. Not that it means anything, but you'll get some extra love from us.
Yes.
Next up is Aura Estelle's. They have a new collaboration with Annie Plans for their passport collaboration. That is where they have just debuted some passport size planner folio. What are they called? What are they called?
Now we buying stuff and don't even know what it's called.
You know what, Myra? That's not what matters.
I mean,
They're
they're
called
called
their
planners.
They're called the Airy Passport Perfect Fit cover. So covers.
Oh, the covers you were
Just
talking about.
covers.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
was talking about because I just wasn't sure if they called them covers or agendas or folio.
Mhm.
It's so many different names for the same thing in this community. But yeah, they just came out with those passport size covers and also some passport daily planners. So you can get the passport daily bundle, which comes with 4 booklets. I believe that's like 3 months worth of planning or something like that.
Mhm.
And it's just such a cute system. And so when I saw it, and I was just like, why not? Why the hell not? So yeah,
Yeah. I don't know. I
so cute.
Yeah, I really like the designs that their planner designs that they do.
Mm-hmm.
So and it's so tiny, it's so petite, it could be a wallet.
Yep.
So yeah, I agree. Why not? Um
So
they do
cute.
have some neutral options in their covers.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the stuff already sold out. So I guess the people wanted that too. But I don't
Yep.
know. This is kind of petite and unique and different, and
Yes.
it's undated, so you can jump in and jump out whenever you please. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And it comes with stickers in order to help you date it if you don't want to
Hmm.
just have to do it all from scratch, which is really cool. The bundle comes with 3 daily booklets. Every day gets 2 pages, and then they come with 1 booklet that's just a pure dot grid
Hmm.
booklet. So like a little notebook. And yeah, it's just such a cute little system. I really love the idea of getting something that I could start right away and I didn't have to wait until 2024. And then I just love how like tiny and portable it is. Like you said, like you just throw it in your purse, use it as a wallet too. So I'm just excited to just kind of play around with this. And if you're somebody like me who maybe doesn't need 2 days per page, you can use 1 day per page, and then you can kind of double the amount of
Hmm.
planning that you have in each book instead of just 1 month. Now you have 2. So I'm
Yeah,
excited to play around with it.
that is true. I think one side of the page have like times on it.
Mm-hmm.
I wish it didn't, but it
Mhm.
does.
Mhm.
But you can still ignore that. It's on the side,
Yeah,
so you could completely white it out, put washi
very
over, or
faint.
just ignore it. So
Mhm.
it's not invasive. So you could definitely like get a little bit more use out
Yep.
of the pages. But I even just love the colors, like the color scheme of the 4 notebooks.
Yeah,
I think
I
they're
love
cute.
them. They are very, very neutral, and they have the cover options in a Stardust, which is silver, Cake and Sprinkles, which is like a light pink, Enchanted Forest, which is like a deep green, Irish Cream, which is like a cream color, Toffee Table, which is a brown, Moonlight Obsidian, which is a black, Gentle Harbor, which is a light blue, and a Royal Violet, which is a purple. So the Royal Violet and the Toffee Table, no, the Toffee, did I
Toffee,
say
toffee.
Toffee. I don't know why I said
Mhm.
Toffee Table. Toffee. Those are sold out. But Aura Estelle is really good about restocking stuff. So I wouldn't be
Mhm.
surprised if we saw those restocked before the end of the year, especially since
Yeah.
those are probably the two most popular covers. But I got the Irish Cream. Myra, you got the Irish Cream too, right?
Yeah,
So
only because of
pretty.
toffee, so that I would've went with that first, but yeah, either way, it's so
So
pretty.
pretty.
Um,
Yes.
I personally don't care for the scallops, so I do
Yeah.
love that they have, options that are just kinda straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's
Mm-hmm.
technically straight too, but, and I
Yes.
love that they put those that's more, like, without the scallops in those neutral colors.
Mm-hmm.
I
Me
like
too.
that, so,
Me too.
yeah, I'm excited
But
for
yeah,
it.
such a cute collection. I'm really excited too, just to kind of play around with it. And like I said, just kind of get to start something right away because, it's so fun ordering 2024 planners, especially as they start to come in, but we can't do anything with them for still, like 3 to 4 months, which is so frustrating.
Doesn't Hobonichi give us, like, December or something like that?
Yeah, they give us December and the last week of November. Still,
Oh.
still not enough time.
Yeah, especially when, we'll have ours or some of ours at least at the end of this week.
I know. I know.
That's a lot to
Exactly.
get through.
It is. It is. But yeah. But yeah, guys, let us know if y'all checked out this collection between Orisdale and Annie Plans. I love how they keep doing these collabs together because they come up with some really, really good stuff. Like this is my favorite Orisdale stuff. The stuff that they do with
Mhm.
Annie Plans is just so phenomenal.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They usually knock it out the park with the planners.
Agreed.
So yeah, I'm excited to see more. I cannot wait for my pre-order. I'm so excited for that to be dated.
I know. I know. I'm excited for you. I still might go back 'cause I need an A5 now because I got this A5 Hobonichi cover that I'm about to have, and I don't have a planner to put in it.
I love you getting the cover and just like we gonna make it work.
'Cause I just know the
Yeah.
cousin does not work for me. At least I don't think it does. So I need an alternative. So yeah, I definitely will be looking at Aura still.
What's the issue with the cousins?
It's just too much. I don't need weeklies and then a day for every single like a page for every single day. It's just too much.
Yeah, so it's just like
Yeah.
one or the other for you.
Yeah, I
Mm.
think so. I just don't need both. I just don't need I love the idea of an all-in-one planner, but in practice, it just has not really worked for me because I just don't need a full week spread, you know?
Yeah. I when I have the cousins, I don't use the monthlies at all.
Mm-mm. You see there you
Yeah.
go. Exactly. So I think like for me, like even with my daily duo, they have that extra page in every week that you could
Mhm.
use. It's like a weekly preview. Sometimes I use it for that. Most of the times I don't even use it for that. Like I just feel like I just don't really need a weekly preview, you know? So I don't know. We'll see.
You're not busy
We
enough.
shall see. Yeah. Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say you were.
You know what? That's the problem. I am busy, but I'm too busy to have to worry about a weekly spread
Mhm.
and a daily spread. That's too much. I need one or the other to worry about. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, only time I use that page before Monday that
Mm-hmm.
everybody hates in the Daily Duo apparently, is if I have a sticker to, like,
There we
make it
go.
that weekly view, but other than that,
Exactly.
it's just,
Mm-mm. You just
jot
sit.
some notes or something.
Notes,
Mhm.
maybe a grocery list or something here or
Yeah.
there, meal plan, something very basic.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, just want to give y'all a reminder that we will not have a episode next week on September the 28th
Mhm.
because we are going to see Beyonce in Houston this weekend. Ain't nobody got time to be recording.
We're gonna be recovering from
Exactly.
Beyonce.
We're gonna be recovering, not recording.
Yes. I'm
Exactly.
sure you guys understand.
Right. But we will be back the first week of October with an episode dropping that week. So
Which is insane to say.
October puts us officially into spooky season. And by the time y'all hear this episode, we will be almost officially into fall. And I'm just so excited. So yeah, next time y'all hear from us, it will be spooky season. It will be fall. And we will be even bigger Beyonce stans than we are right now. So it's a win-win-win.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll do some kind of recap or something.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. But yeah, y'all, thank y'all so much for listening. Give us some feedback on the show. Let us know what you think about it. We have a slightly new format that we're trying out. So yeah, we want to hear from you guys.
Elevating and evolving.
There we go.
That's what Planners and Wine does. So hopefully y'all enjoy it and understand. And yeah.
Yeah. Talk to y'all after we see Beyonce.
After the Renaissance.
There we go. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Hey, Grapevine. Thanks for listening to this week's episode. Planners and Wine is hosted by Megan P. and Myra P. and is edited by Jonathan F. We'd like to thank our Planners and Wine patrons for their continued support and engagement. With special thanks to Daniel M. and Lisa F., moderators of our Patreon-exclusive Facebook group. For more amazing content, please visit plannersandwine.com or find us on Patreon at patreon.com/plannersandwine. You can also find us on all social media platforms at Planners and Wine.